He was having a really rough time just because he was not he was a singer.
Okay.
In Rula.
Oh.
The group Rula, he was one of the rappers there. And I just realized that he's just having a really rough time, like trying to manage me as a gag man.
Oh, really?
Because he's not a gag man. And so I made these stickers with his picture on it. And then I was like, you know, like 힘내세요, you know, like, you know, keep up the good work, you know, and then that after I put that on the stickers of all of my little drinks, and I passed them around, so everybody could say, you know, like, oh, you know, keep up the good work, you know, 영국이.
And you know, that's what it is. You're just a true, genuine person, because I've seen it even. At your birthday parties, I mean, I've seen you grill food for everybody, making food for people. You know, I've seen
Well, we have the best host right here, Dorothy. You can't beat her. She's like the best. She'll have food for like 500 people.
Waiting in the soup kitchen.
It's like, seriously, she could open like Seoul역, you know, like Seoul역, and everybody come.
No, and the rumor has it that, you know, definitely, it's not just rumor. I think it's, you know, true in the heart that, I mean, do you think you developed this character and personality here in Korea, or were you always like this? I mean, in your younger days, did you share a lot in your kindergarten days with friends, or what?
You know, I don't really share that much. It's just being thankful for what I have, I think. And especially when you have a lot of great people around you. I mean, how could you not be in a great mood? How could you not be in like positive state of mind with, you know, I mean, how could you not be thankful for like beautiful musicians that help make your album beautiful?
Yeah.
I mean, you're just in awe about a lot of these people who do music, and like you meet these characters that are just so great and so just open. It's like, hey man, how could you, you know, even think about, you know, being in any other kind of state of mind? You know, just besides thankful.
If you weren't a singer, what do you think you would be doing?
I'd be a chef.
A chef?
Yeah, I always liked to
well,
cook.
See, that's why I saw you grilling hamburgers and hot dogs.
I knew I always had the hands to be a chef, but I never really had the opportunity to actually have my own real kitchen. You know, like one of those like Hell's Kitchen kitchens. If I had one of those, I think I'd be pretty mean on the grill.
Chef. No, so what is your favorite thing that you like to cook? Well,
right now I do a pretty good lasagna.
Oh.
Yeah, I do a pretty good, but I don't have an oven right now. But my burgers are pretty good too. But yeah, just pretty much anything. I do actually Korean food too. I do all the kimchi jjigae and the doenjang jjigaes.
What do you put in your kimchi jjigae? I'm curious to know. What does Chwan put in his kimchi jjigae?
It all depends on what I have. If I have like, I could just do a straight like gongchi. What would you call that? It's like a long fish.
Yeah, gongchi.
Gongchi, or you could,
in a can.
Yeah, or like a straight gongchi, the ones that are like raw also.
Right.
Just boil that with the water, but you know, it all works out. It all works out in the end.
Gongchi kimchi jjigae, right?
That's all. It just all works out in the end. So.
Do you like to go fishing?
I love to. Actually, I was on a really bad trip where I almost froze to death.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I mean, it got me a little scared, but I always loved fishing ever since I was a kid, and so one of my things is I think I love to catch and eat what I catch. That's the little different part about me. I'm not into the sport.
Yeah.
I want to eat the fish.
Yeah. You're gonna make that 매운탕.
That's why I want to eat the fish, and so I'm all into the cleaning and everything.
Yeah, good.
Caught some like big tunas and big tuna and like sailfish and whatever. You know, pretty much. Got a couple more big fish I need to put on my belt, under my belt, but otherwise I'm, just every time I have a chance to get a line in the water, I'm down for it.
Did you ever go on fishing trips with your family when you were young?
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from.
Oh, really?
Just as a kid going on going to the lakes, or during summer vacation going to the beach and actually going to the pier and just fishing, and that was a lot of fun.
Do you ever have that moment with your father?
Oh yeah, a long time ago we used to have that.
What would you share with each other? What would you talk about?
Well, actually, at that time, the problem is his English wasn't really good enough to communicate something that he really wanted to, and I think the mindset of older Korean people back then is you don't really talk to your kids like people do nowadays.
Right.
And one thing I want to do with my daughter is make sure that I'm on the same wavelength with her. And so I usually know what's going on with her, whether she knows it or not.
What would you have wanted to say to your father, at that moment?
I would love to have heard more stories about his
Really?
his youth. I've only heard some stories from when he talks to his friends, and I think it just opens my eyes up a little bit about what it was like, and I think you got to really try to share with your kids.
Yeah.
Because they can't know,
Yeah.
And like you have to really be able to, like I'm sure my mother had a lot of great stories, but that at that point I probably couldn't, she didn't speak English well enough to say what she wanted to, and then at that time I didn't speak Korean well enough to understand. And so.
What would you have liked to say to your mom?
Oh yeah, I mean just some of the stories that I've heard. I mean their life back then, I mean, the 40s, the 50s, I mean, those are war times.
Yeah.
And so, just being born and going through that, the 30s and the 40s, it's like, whoa, Korea's changed a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at America and say it's changed a lot, but Korea changed a real lot. And like, I think they've seen like pretty much anything, like, there was no cars before, but then all of a sudden, people are driving cars, from horses to cars, to like, wood houses, to concrete buildings, to roads and
bridges, not just Hangang Bridge, but all the other bridges coming.
I mean, there were no bridges, like people used to swim that to get over, those kind of things, and you're just being able to just hear those stories, and I think it would have left a lot for me. These days.
So do you have that moment, and you share that moment with your daughter now?
Well, I try to. I always try to talk to her about little things, but she's not at an age where she's going to try to listen to what I say.
Right.
it just has to, I think, come to her a little bit later in life. But it's my job to actually try to tell her as much as I can. I think as a father.
What is that one moment that you recall sharing with your father?
Well, he would always talk about working, working during the war times, and how he went to Vietnam, and then he went to just all different kinds of places just to, take care of the family.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, so just hearing that stuff, it really didn't mean that much to me. But actually going to other countries, just for the war, and those kind of things was really like mind-boggling when you think about it. Just getting on a plane, just going.
Yeah. What's that one thing you miss, maybe, that your mom made you?
Oh, my mom, she was a great cook. I mean, she was like the best. I mean, she would make a mean short rib.